Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me. Over 1,000 subscribers. I'm actually over 1,500 subscribers now, so thank you for everyone who subscribed and supporting the channel. Absolutely fantastic. I did a video yesterday about the DWP giving more powers to check bank accounts, and I mentioned that I was concerned about it because we all know people who've been involved with the DWP, people who've had dealings with the DWP, will know they make mistakes. I know they're only human and they're doing the job, but they do make mistakes, and sometimes they make big mistakes, and it can cost people a lot of heartache, a lot of worry, a lot of stress. And this article that I'm going to show you now is one of the reasons why I'm concerned about it. So take a look. Okay, so the new surveillance will wrongly target those on universal credit, housing benefit and pension credit. So this is in the news, and basically an expert has voiced concerns over the Department of Work Pension's powers to conduct bank checks. Sabrina McCulloch, who is Director of External Relations at Money Wellness, labelled the powers a step too far and highlighting that some claimants are being wrongly targeted. She said, "To propose legislation that forces banks and building societies to report data on a mass scale is a step too far. The government says it wants to rebuild trust with the nation. The first step shouldn't be creating what is essentially a surveillance charter on how people earn, spend and save." She goes on to say, "There is a real risk that harm will be created and it is unlikely to achieve the stated objective of preventing large-scale fraud." She added, "By far a greater problem is overpayment and how it is clawed back, which forces claimants into crisis and situations where it's impossible to live. 30% of benefit claimants seeking debt support each day do so as a result of being unable to repay benefit overpayment. Often the problem doesn't lie with the claimant, but how the claim is processed." And they go on to say, "We've seen several instances where on investigation people were found not to have been overpaid, but were still pursued for money. Any legislation must consider not just how to prevent fraud, but also how to use the data available to proactively engage people who should be claiming but do not know how or what they're entitled to. The system must be simplified and streamlined, which in itself should mean that issues naturally fall and fewer claimants will be vilified in the process." Now this is, that's just an example of a number of people who I've seen and heard comments from saying that they've had dealings with DWP who said they've overpaid when actually they haven't overpaid, or they've overpaid because of a fault with the DWP and not with the claimant. And I realise they've got to get this money back, but usually that puts people in a huge financial problem and causes them a lot of stress and worry. And and this is the thing where people say, well, if you've done nothing wrong, then you've got nothing to worry about. But that just isn't the case, because we all know the DWP make mistakes, and a number of people have had issues with things being clawed back and stuff like that. And you can see what's going to happen. They're going to say, well, we've looked at your bank accounts, we've found some abnormalities, we're going to give you 7 days. Here's a letter saying you've got 7 days to give us proof that nothing untoward is happening, or we're going to stop your benefits. That's what's going to happen, and it's already happening in some cases with other checks that they're doing. So I think this is why I was concerned about it, and hopefully by bringing this to people's attention, they can lobby their local MPs and say, look, this is not a good idea. We need to make sure that this is done. If it is going to be done, it's got to be done properly and fairly. But let me know down in the comment section what you think. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I've already read all of the comments on the previous video, which is fantastic. But if you've been in a situation where you've been wrongly accused by DWP, do let me know in the comment section, because I'll be interested to hear what you have to say.